So Lisa, thank you for coming in today. This is our first session in counseling together, and I want you to know a little bit about me so that you feel comfortable in the session.
I appreciate that.
How did you get my name? By
I looked online. I've been feeling like I need some help. I need some help from a therapist, and or I don't know. I'm hoping that I can get some help, and it's felt that way for a long time. And what it said and what I read about you of people-centered, and I've read a little bit, Carl Rogers, or maybe some more of what was going on in the 70s, and it just seemed like there were people who were really caring and could identify. I tried some therapy several years ago, and it just felt really uncomfortable being with somebody that felt like they were kind of in authority or something, and it didn't feel good.
So my approach to therapy is more of a kind of a walking with you, that you'll be doing the work of the therapy, but I'm there to partner with you, and it's going to be really important for us both to be as honest as possible with each other throughout therapy. You only need to tell me, what you're comfortable with telling me, but be very, the more honest you can be, the more we'll be able to work together and get accomplished for you. I may at times be giving you some homework to do.
Okay.
Because I believe that therapy goes on, in your life as between sessions. So to get you, starting to be more aware. So that's kind of what to expect.
That's really great. I when I had therapy before, and that was a lot of years ago, it was kind of weird for me, like to just meet an hour a week and that's it.
Yeah.
So I like that idea of the homework or whatever that might look like. That sounds pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
So you said you've been having a struggle for quite some time. How would you describe what's been going on? What is your life like?
Well, I can tell you that maybe I can tell you what that struggle looks like. I just, starting when I was about 12, things in that outside world quit making sense to me. I didn't get it. I knew there was a way I was supposed to be, or that other people seemed to be getting something that I didn't get. And so I tried to fit in or do what I thought I was supposed to. There wasn't anything that I really wanted to do. I just was trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do to try to have this world make sense? And
so if I might, what you said, things in the outside world stopped making sense. What does that mean?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think before then it's like I was connected in some way. I was connected. And starting around than it wasn't like black and white. It didn't happen like immediately, just a cutoff date. But
Mm-hmm.
I started feeling like there's all this is around me, and the way that people are in it, all of what's going on, um, it seems to make sense to people, and I feel like I'm disconnected from it. I feel like I'm disconnected, and I'm not getting something that they're getting. It felt empty. It felt meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
Going through motions and doing things that other people seemed to be engaged in some way that I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started feeling really meaningless and and kind of absurd. The world was feeling absurd. Does that make sense?
Yes. It sounds to me like you were in there living your life, and then suddenly it's like you just kind of broke off, and you're kind of hanging out there watching everything. Is that?
Yeah, that kind of watching it, that kind of like being a distant observer almost. And
Mhm.
it just became it became so intense then, like more so. There would be times when I was younger where I'd have that kind of feeling, like
Mhm.
watching something going on and it didn't make sense, but it wasn't like so much of my life that it started becoming
Mm.
at
It just.
12. And I feel like,
Mhm.
I kind of found some ways, maybe there'd be places where I could connect, but it didn't tend to have a lot to do with the outside world.
Mhm. And um, was this the time that you started coping? Is this
Mm.
how did you cope with what was going
That's a
on,
good
or were you just?
um I think well, I kind of went along, or um I started drinking at 12, and that it, I didn't drink by myself ever. I just drank with other people, but it helped me feel more comfortable with other people. It helped give me that kind of feeling like I was connected to something.
So it gave you a feeling that you were pulled back in and part of the action again.
Kind of that there was uh, yeah, that it's like I wasn't second guessing myself. It's like I wasn't as self-conscious. I wasn't as separate. I could feel that feeling like, yeah, I want to do this, or I care, or whatever that looked like, that it just felt like it made more sense.
So Lisa,
Yeah.
nearly 50 years have passed. And how do you feel today? What what is it that you're looking for?
God. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've learned how to function, I guess, better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like what I was telling you is how it started, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I still don't feel like I'm connected. And I've tried a lot of things. I've tried church, I've tried volunteering, I've tried things that I would hope would give me that feeling of connection.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's not there, and I feel like wanna I wanna know that before I die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live my whole life feeling like I'm missing something. I don't get something. Um, yeah.
What does the connection look like in your mind that you're wishing for?
Well,
Can you
that's a good
describe it?
question. What does it look like? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I can picture people who look like they're engaged sincerely. So that's a picture. But if I think of like what it feels like, maybe it would be like, if I could, if I could be, really engaged So I'm not living with it. Like I'm enthusiastic. I care. I'm 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 not like self-conscious of my own separateness and the pain of that, you know? Yeah, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What moments in life have you had a feeling like that?
Mm.
Have you had those kind of moments?
Well, like I told you, the of early on with sex or alcohol, that was kind of starting there. I used to have a horse, and I used to go riding my horse, um, and I'd feel really connected then. We'd go up in the mountains all day long, and he
Oh,
was an amazing horse, and I had just this amazing relationship with him, and I loved that. And
your whole demeanor changes when you talk about him,
oh,
being with him.
and you know what? I even I think I was maybe in my 30s. I thought maybe I'll go back and try that again and see, what that feels like. And it's like you can't go back to that same thing. And so I didn't feel that. I took some lessons, and rented a horse, did that, and didn't feel it there. So I guess, sometimes when I go party with friends, I can feel that. I can feel that kind of connection. But maybe that's because I'm drinking. That helps. I don't know.
Hmm. So, do you desire to stop drinking
Mm-mm,
altogether?
mm-mm.
No.
I mean, it just feels like it would be just more of the same, of more of that disconnect. At least when I drink with some friends, and I don't mean like really close friends. I don't have really close friends, but um, I feel like when I drink with those friends that, at least I'm not feeling so separate or self-conscious. It just helps me feel like I'm connecting a little more.
Hmm.
And it just feels like that. If that were taken away, then there'd be so little. Yeah, I don't want to just not feel like this. I don't want to just not feel disconnected. I want connection. There's a part of me that wants what that feels like. That wants, yeah, yeah.
Have you ever done any work in a group at all? Any kind of group work?
No, it feels really scary and awful.
Yeah. Um, have you heard of the 12 step groups? I'm
I've heard
wondering
of
if
them. I've heard of them.
there are different ones, different levels of spirituality. Some are even 12 step groups without the spirituality. I'm just wondering if it might be a place for you to be with other people who are experiencing similar.
You mean there are other people experiencing this kind of feeling?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
That's
You're
hard to
totally
it's
not
hard to
alone.
believe. Really? Mm, that would be really good. Yeah, because what's felt so bad for so long? Like keep feeling like I'm supposed to be like those other people that seem like they're connected, and I can't get there. And
Hmm.
to think that there might be, other people. It's hard to believe that there'd be other people who might feel like this. Huh, really?
There
Are
are
you
a lot
sure?
of people.
Huh. Hmm. Oh my God. You know what? Um, that feels like this will sound so weird. I don't know if this will make sense, but um, it feels like I maybe could have a connection with people who don't feel connected.
You know what? I don't mean that. That is like, I know you mean that serious. And
Yeah, but it sounds so bizarre, but that
it
like
does.
I can
But,
imagine a connection with people who feel like me, which is feeling disconnected, you
mhm.
know?
And
Wow.
so often what brings us together is the pain we share.
Huh.
And we can, in a group type of situation like that, you hear from others that, hey, I'm not the only one going through this. And even though their issue may be different than yours, there will be parts of it that you can relate with.
Huh. I mean, you seem like a nice person, so I guess I believe you for that reason, but I'm not sure I believe you for any other reason.
It's one of those things, if you're willing, to try it, it's something that you could give a try. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back. Or you might find one that's better. A lot of times, I've been going to a few lately, and people there tell me, well, hey, this other one's a lot better. They
Hmm.
have this or this.
Hmm.
So the people you meet there might even
Wow.
direct you
Wow.
to something better.